No way this is working. I don't believe it. No way. This is live? Come on, son. This can't be working. Holy shit. Stop it. Stop it. No way. This is live? Come on, son. This can't be working. I don't believe it. Stop it. Stop it. Yo, what's up, Ken? How you doing? How you doing, Ken? It says 0 viewers, but Mr. Ken is watching. Now, God, I didn't think this was gonna work. I was having some troubles with streaming this, and here we are. How you doing, Ken? You got any questions? You let me know. Whoever else is watching as well. Look, I'm just gonna be going off the cuff here, and we're just gonna be talking some chimps for some time. I don't know what's gonna happen here. I don't know. Why didn't Ken's comment pop up on the screen? That should have happened. Oh well. It's gonna be going off the cuff here, just talking. Man, I'm good. It's a crazy time to be alive. It's a crazy time to be alive. But we are alive, so I'm fortunate and thankful for that. Yeah, man, it's crazy. On these last few months and how much this world has changed. Man, I'm just stoked that this even works. Holy shit. Been having if you want a live stream, streamable OBS is the shit. Sergio. Shang. I just lost my job at my home. Needs a new roof or the insurance will cancel off. May 5. Damn, man. That's rough. That's rough. That's a lot of people, though. Like, I mean, so many people are going through that. Millions. Like, what is the job? What is the worldwide job? How many millions of people have lost their job around the world? Like, probably a gargantuan number compared to what it was a couple of years ago, right? What are you gonna do? You gotta do the best you can, man. You just gotta make. You gotta make lemonade out of these shitty lemons that we've all been given, right? You got to find the opportunity in the adversity. That amazing Napoleon Hill quote: with every seed with every adversity, misfortune, pain and suffering comes an equal seed of greater benefit. So we all got to find that greater benefit. Exactly right. Everything can be going fine, and then boom, it's all done, right? Boom, you lost your mother. Boom. You know, a few 100 million. Yeah, oh yeah, a few 100 million people lost their job. Yeah. Probably. I mean, let's look at like nearly 8 billion. Actually, let's do it right now. Let's look. You know, let's look at the stats. I haven't looked at these in a few days right here. Let's look at the worldwide. Let's see if this will work. Yep. Fucking look how good that looks. Alright, let's look at it right here. Time for people to renegotiate our terms. What do you mean by that? Renegotiate our terms. There's a lot of... Jeez, look at that. 2.2 rather, million people. See, these motherfuckers. I've been speaking to a lot of people in the past. They'll be telling me like, oh, look at people just tripping over it. Like just a month ago. Just a bit over a month ago, we're at like 10,000 deaths, right? I'm like, well, people going crazy over this, right? People going crazy over this. For what? Over 10,000 deaths? Man, the flu gets max, like, on a bad year, like 80,000 deaths, 90,000. Man, that's not good. That's not good. I'm worried about the supply chain disruptions in terms of food distribution, people riot, and when they and their children are starving. I think the let's break that down. The food distribution is a huge thing, right? We have learned through this that how ingrained we all are in for other people for food security, right? For other large corporate entities for our own food security. And when that is affected, because what supply chain is really prepared for a pandemic? What supply chain is really prepared for a massive 10x influx of demand? Almost none. And I think we're seeing this now. For me personally, I don't know about you guys, but my local grocery stores, they've put strict limits, as many other places have, on how many things you can buy. Moreover, they stop deliveries. You can no longer get deliveries, which I think is quite antithetical to the idea of mitigating spread, because you don't want large groups congregating together and having to force themselves to go to grocery stores to get food when deliveries could be a great option to mitigate people gathering in groups. I actually went to not many of them. I went to the supermarkets. My local supermarkets, they have a great thing called, you got a pickup. You can do pickups. They just enabled it or re-enabled it. What's up, Rody Doty? Man, y'all gotta use your real names. YouTube guys don't do that, do they? YouTube people, they go hard. You gotta use the anonymous DPs and the names, because you might say some crazy shit and you don't want anyone coming after you. I get it. I wish these comments turned up on the motherfucking screen. God damn it. Because you guys got some good comments. I'm going to talk about all of them. I'm going to... oh, hold on. No, it didn't work yet. Yeah, the supply chain's being affected. Delivery's being affected. Just basic... I don't know about you guys, but like basic goods. Like getting things delivered to my home. Just like basic shit. Like supplements. Like... I've been waiting. I live in Australia, obviously, as most of you know, but which means we all the way. I don't know if you can. How am I going to do this? Oh, nope. I want this one. I'm all the way down here, y'all. So, all the way down here, which means so far away from a lot of you, which means we have to. I'll just make it bigger. Which means we have to wait so long to get a lot of deliveries, and so you'll be waiting weeks and weeks just for some basic goods. Often, it could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Supply chains have been affected. I think it's a lesson in all of us in that we need to find ways to supply our own food. Everybody watching this should be able to grow their own vegetables. Why not? Just do very basic. I'm doing it. I've been doing it for a few months now. It's very basic. You just go to your local gardening place, a nursery. Exactly. Wilfredo Mendez, plant a garden. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely, plant a garden. And it starts basic, right? It starts like I planted some rocket, some beetroot, and some baby carrot. I've harvested my rocket, and it's great. I'm like, holy shit. I made this. I planted a seed and I harvested it, and that's like a metaphor for life, isn't it? You plant seeds and you harvest, and like, yeah, can you feed a family off some fucking rocket and beetroot and baby carrot? No, but let's start somewhere, right? I've heard Rogan talk about how people have been so into hunting. They're trying to ask, how do I get into hunting, right? I think I live in a country that is ripe for the picketing for hunting. And I think a lot of us do, but especially Australia. We got these crazy bulls, like these. I'll show you. We got these. You guys all know cows, right? We got these crazy bulls. As I take all my notes here, I'm gonna give you a second. Actually, I'll show you later. We got these crazy big wild bulls that you can that are a pest. They're invasive, and they just destroy the land. Anyway, let's keep going through these comments. People riot when they and their children are starving. Yes, people. Think about it. I heard a great quote the other day that I'm going to pull up. Oh yes, it was about like what do people do and how do people think when they get desperate, right? When they're what behaviors does a hungry man exhibit? Because a hungry man will behave in one way, but a hungry man that can't feed his children, that's a really dangerous man, right? Who can't feed his children. What will he do? What will he do to survive? What will he do to keep his family safe and prosperous? And that's the question. And that's a question that hopefully we won't have to find out, but we just may. We just may. And if we do, most of us aren't prepared. And that's a problem. But I think this whole thing is going to force us, it's going to force us to have a more of a keen awareness of basic preparedness. Food security, water. Do you have a water filtration system? I think one of you asked. I'll answer the firearms questions soon. That's a good question. We have way different laws to you guys. Way different, right? Yeah, so we're talking about the... I'm just going to keep reading. What should I do? When should I give up on a girl I really like? That's a good question. I'm going to keep on the topic, though, for now. Yes, we have limits placed in eastern Pennsylvania, although the cute girl at the CVS just rang me out twice to avoid it. Shout out to the cute girl at CVS, right? She hooking you up. We appreciate that. Thank you, cute girl. But like dating, that's been affected. Doesn't affect me because I'm not in the scene right now. I'm locked down. You know, I'm voluntarily locked down. But for a lot of people, like Tinder, I hear people doing like virtual dating, like they're doing like voice calls, video calls, like this, except, you know, talking to another person, video, which I think is, why not? You got to adapt. Why not? It's like people get crazy when they get alone, like when they get solitude by themselves for long, locked up in their bedrooms and houses for long periods of time, like that depression, anxiety. You a stoner dude? Nah, that ain't me right now. Yeah, I'm serious. It's real, man. It's real. It's what people are doing. I'm telling you because I've heard people doing it. Like just like video calls. I don't even call it virtual. Just like you video call with someone, but you video call like your date, which is interesting because usually dating is ripe with sexual chemistry and sexual tension and these intimate things, and no longer they're present. So what can you do in their place? And it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to actually get to know the person. Oh, I'm not going to, my dick and genitals aren't going to be talking for me here, but my brain and my logic is going to be here, which I think has some positive consequences, if you ask me. I mean, the USA, they can't infringe on our rights like that. Well, they can try. One rule and one law at a time. One rule, one law at a time, they change and alter the rights and freedoms of average citizens, don't they? Which is weird because once you put a law in place, that's one thing. But when do you take it away? When do the restrictions stop? When do they slow down? What criteria do we have to see as a country, as a state, as individual citizens before these things are adjusted? Because I'm here in Australia. I'll paint the picture for you guys, and you guys can paint me your picture of where you guys are at. We're talking. We can't gather in groups at all. Say for example, you can only gather with two people. If you're at a family, you can only have one other person outside your family gathering outside your home. Okay, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. There's surprisingly a high amount of cars on the road, which I didn't expect because I thought a lot of people are out of jobs, but apparently not here. It's not dead. The roads aren't dead. There's basically, we're called stage 3 right now. We're not in a stage where we can't go outside. We can't go outside. We can't be physically active, which is awesome. But there are heavy restrictions if you gather with more than one person outside of your home. We're talking thousands of dollars. If all these small businesses are closed, right? If this small business is operating, we're talking about $10,000 to $20,000 fines. Like, this is crippling stuff for small businesses who struggle enough. Okay? The stakes are high. The stakes are very high. And so when the stakes are high, people get desperate for control. Governments will get desperate to control citizens. They'll get desperate to control, like, at the end of the day, it's people's health and deaths and lives. And so they're going to do what is necessary, what they deem is necessary, okay? It's really outside of a lot of our control from we can't affect the government, but we can affect our decisions on a day-to-day, which then can have a systemic influence of our society, of how effective or ineffective we are at controlling this crazy situation, pandemic, right? So we do have power. We do and we don't, which is the black and white, or there's a lot of gray in between. What's up, Shang 2? Shang knows our language. Aussie, oi, oi. That's our language. We have a surplus of deer in a park near my home, but it's a fairly large city, so we can't hunt here. Well, you're hearing about these animals now encroaching on, not even encroaching, because I think the animals were here. The animals were really here first, as far as I'm concerned. But they are encroaching on people's land now because there's so little cars, and there's these animals just going through, like, basic city area, like deer just hopping along in the backyards, bears on people's doors. I stayed in Vancouver one time, and what tripped me out was I was staying with my partner's family, and they had locks on their bins because the fucking bears would come and knock over the trash cans and eat the fucking trash. Bears, like, just around the corner, because the neighborhood, nice neighborhood, but it was near a large park, a very large, like, nature reserve. I'm like, what the fuck type of topsy-turvy area is this? I'm like, we don't have bears here. No black bears, no brown bears, no bears here in Australia. Unless you go to, I don't think we have them in our zoos. Okay? So, that was a little bit of a, whoa. It's kind of exciting, though. It's like something that can kill you. Something that can really fuck you up. That's right nearby, right? And like, when I first saw a grizzly bear in person up at Grouse Mountain in Vancouver, I was stunned and amazed and inspired, and like, wow, just what an amazing creature. What an amazing, amazing creature that is so powerful, but like humbly powerful. Like, they're just chilling. They're just sitting there, right? They're just hanging out, and just next minute, fucking, it's over. If they have to protect their cubs and you're in their way, shut it down. And then they weighed them. What I saw was they weighed the grizzly bear in front of us. They do these treats things. So basically, they feed the bear. They teach, like, human interaction with these bears, grizzly bears, by putting honey on their hands and then putting the hands in the fucking cage, or the area where the bear is enclosed, and the bear will lick the hand with the honey on him, and this helps bond with and trust with the human. I'm like, holy shit. Like, if that bear just has a little aneurysm and just decides, you know what, I'm a little bit more hungry right now, and takes your hand, like, that's a lot of trust that we have between humans and animals. But it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then they weighed the bear. They put the bear on the scale, and you just 400, 500, 600 kilos. What is it? 800 pounds, 900 pounds. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Come on. You ain't got to stand a chance against a fucking grizzly bear. Oh. Sadesh Shindi. I'm sorry I pronounced your names wrong. What should we do in lockdown? Which skills should I master? That's a great question. I think there's a number of them. One skill is the skill of emotional detachment. The skill of emotional detachment. Do you have the ability to, when adversity strikes at your door, to not spaz out, to stay logical, stay calm, stay rational in the face of chaotic adversity? That is the question. Because a lot of people are spazzing out right now. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I lost my job. What, you only have one source of income? Wait. One? Oh, so you put all your eggs in one basket? Oh, shit. Look, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to make a joke of the situation. Because some people, that's all they have. That's all they have. It's the cards they have been dealt. But if there is a lesson to all of us, and maybe this isn't so much of a skill, but so much of a don't get caught off guard, is have multiple streams of income. Okay? You're looking at one right now, albeit it's not a large one. Everybody can eventually make some cheddar cheese from social media. Business, hobbies, creative hobbies. You can make and sell things. You can go to Alibaba.com, buy bulk and sell. Almost everybody has at least $500 to $1,000 worth of goods in their home that they can sell. Clothing, merchandise, random things like that. Anyway, what are the skills that we should master? I think emotional control over ourselves, and I think that's practicing certain philosophies, whether it's Buddhism or Stoic philosophy, all the books that you guys have seen me summarize. There's a lot of the ideas in there that have taught the skills that one should master in times of turmoil. I think another skill is learning how to defend oneself physically. You know, a lot of people say that the best way to win a fight is to avoid it. It's to not get in one. I agree with that. As someone who has done martial arts as a younger teenager, learning just a basic foundation for a number of years, I'm not professing to be an expert or have a supreme ability to defend myself, because it's something that I will and need to go back into in a different form of martial art in the future. However, we should all have the ability and confidence and emotional stability to defend oneself. I think that is critically important, especially in a time like this. What other skills should we master? I think the ability, as we were talking about before, to forage off our land. I think learning how to hunt is something I'm very interested in doing. I'm fortunate where we have Adam Greentree is like one of the Australia's, if not the world's, most renowned and best hunters. And I would love to link up with him one day and learn the basics, or at least somebody alike to him. I think learning how to hunt, and there's ethics and morals around that, and we can talk about that. I think if you eat meat and you're against hunting, it is as a bit of a that's an interesting conversation to have, because most people just hire hitmen to get their food for them. So why hire the hitman? Be reliant on the corporation who knows how long it's sitting on the shelf, who knows the quality of where that comes from, how they've treated that animal. Perhaps it is an idea to forage off the land within reason, right? Animals that aren't extinct and are endangered, like yellowfin tuna. Actually, I'm gonna double check that. I don't think we should be eating endangered animals. If you ever want to know the status, or if you ever want to know the status of an animal, that's it. Just type in the species of an animal, and then just go status, and then near threatened, yellowfin. There's yellowfin or bluefin tuna. I'm trying to figure out which one is which. Bluefin, I got it wrong. Bluefin tuna is critically endangered and population levels are down to 5% of the original pre-fishing levels, yet rampant fishing of this species continues, okay? There's a problem. Let me show you. There's your bluefin tuna. Whoop, see that? There. Why are we eating them? We don't need to eat them. Maybe skip them on the menu when you're at a Japanese restaurant. Opt for the yellowfin, which is threatened, which is not even threatened yet, okay? Although, damn it, we're doing a lot of fishing. Damn, we're exhausting a lot of the stores of our oceans, aren't we? We are raping our oceans for fish and food. And so we just got to try to make better, intelligent decisions and choices around that. I think we should all learn how to garden. I think that's a big one. A veggie pod. If you live in Australia, I don't know, maybe they're available worldwide. Get a veggie pod. Amazing tool where you can, so easy to build your own vegetable patch without needing to buy expensive equipment or build like nail wood together to build your own little area. Like an amazing tool, and something I've purchased and bought myself to grow my own vegetables, and it's been extremely resourceful to me. So I would highly recommend learning the skills of growing your own vegetables. That's a big one. If I remember some more, I'll drop them in. We have, let me keep going through this. We have a surplus of deer in the park near my, oh yeah, I read that. I must say your 48 Laws of Power play is very enjoyable. Thank you, I appreciate it. For those who are asking, because I put here, like if anybody's got any questions, I put on my YouTube community questions, people asking about, I don't know if you guys can see that, talk about The Laws of Human Nature by Robin Greene. I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it. It's sitting over there, okay? It's going to be read, and I will make a decision whether I want to make a whole video series about it in the future, if I deem it necessary. People ask about the art of seduction with this, the art of seduction, that guy over there, boom, right? I haven't read it either, okay? I'm reading other books at the moment. I read a wide variety of books, right? Especially on the human body, because that is my vocation, okay? So, if you really want, if some wealthy, wealthy motherfuckers is watching this and he's like, I want this done, I need this done. You're the type of person who making these comments. Invest in it. If you want something done, put money to it. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, let's keep going. A lot of your videos on YouTube, you can do it in buckets. I don't know what that means. Do you have firearms? Oh, that's the question. Do you people can own firearms? Yes. I have a good friend who introduced me to his father. Owns a lot of firearms, and let me answer it like this. No, very few people own firearms. Okay, the process to get a firearm in Australia is difficult. You have to get a license. It takes many months. It is not an easy process. I'm gonna type it in just so I can give you how to get a firearm. Australia. Let's have a look. To acquire, we'll just talk about. Let me show you. New South Wales is a state in Australia. To acquire a firearm, you must be a holder of a current New South Wales firearms license or permit. Okay. The category of license permit you hold will indicate what category of firearm you're eligible to possess. There's different categories. Eligibility. You need a permit. Pistol license can only be applied for in the second 6 months of the pistol license. So you need, okay, so we need to know, how do you get Australia? I'm telling you, it's difficult. I'm telling you, if you want, you can't just go to a gun store and just buy a gun. Okay, number one. As someone I've been to a gun range quite a few times with a friend of mine, and it's like, it's not something you can just roll up to and just start shooting, right? They're like tight-knit communities, especially with like old men and stuff, and it's like you got to become a member a lot of the times. You either need to know a member of a gun range in Australia to, as far as I'm concerned, based in my experience of, so I have a friend, who's had military experience, so he's showed me, and I think every person should learn how to use a weapon. Learn how to use a weapon. Learn what it feels like to shoot a weapon, because you gain a respect for it. My friend's father owns a lot of weapons, so he has a whole array of pistols, different type of pistol firearms, which are typically more conventional to get. We're not talking about semi-automatics here or shotguns like that. I need to speak to him. I don't know if that's even possible for a civilian to get that here. Okay, it's very uncommon as far as pistols more common, right? However, the laws are tight, strict. They're not fucking around. Okay, so let's have a look on how to get them. But genuine license application. Issued for 2 or 5 years. Eligibility: be a fit, proper person, have successfully completed. Here we go. This is the point I want to get to. You have to do a firearms training and safety course to the type of. This is what I'm talking about. You have to do a safety course, okay? A training safety course. You have to provide evidence to justify your genuine reason for possessing or using a firearm. Okay, I don't know what that exactly entitles, but it's some type of documentation or written or verbal. I'm not sure how that talks about how you're going to justify. Why do you need a weapon? Why do you want a weapon? Why do you want a firearm? You have to do a training course that costs money, and it's not some 1 hour, 2 hour thing. It's from my understanding, it's somewhat extensive, and it's a multi-month process. I can't just apply online and get the firearm tomorrow. It's a multi-month process as far as I understand. And if I'm incorrect somewhat, which I don't think I'm off very much here, then someone please correct me. But as far as I'm concerned, that's it's not easy. But I don't think it should be easy, because if you have a firearm, it's a powerful tool, isn't it? And it is just a tool, okay? It is a tool. But like a knife, I can use it to chop a vegetable, or I can use it to stab somebody. I can use a weapon, a firearm, to maim an animal, kill an animal that is threatening me, or kill a object or item or person that is threatening to my life. Or I can do the opposite and I can go crazy. You know, I can commit heinous crimes onto people. So I'm not about to get into a gun debate. I know you guys, especially in America, I know like 50% of my audience is from America. So I respect, what is it, the Fifth Amendment? Fifth Amendment addresses criminal... Fifth Amendment... Oh, God, you guys are probably laughing. Second Amendment? Yes, it's the Second Amendment. Hey, give me some credit that at least I'm even somewhat aware. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. When was this made? 1791. Have they reviewed these amendments? Isn't that a bit odd? That we're just all going off, I'm not saying we, but like a whole 350 million country is just going off a constitution that was made, what is that, 230 years ago? That's a long time. That's like 3 people ago, isn't it? 2-3 people ago? That's not even that long. We talk 2 to 3 people, but a lot has changed. Shouldn't we be doing some revision? Shouldn't we like, hey, guys, maybe we should refine this one. Maybe we should, and I'm not specifically even talking about the Second Amendment, I'm just talking about in general. Like, I haven't read the Constitution. I'm born in Australia. I don't even know what our version of the Constitution is. I'm very engrossed in America. I love America. I love America. I love you guys. Guys, I love all countries. Except Singapore. Fuck Singapore. I say that with respect and all, because I don't want them to come after me. I say that also as a joke. You know, I live there, and there's a lot of things about the lifestyle and the culture that didn't work for me. So with respect, I'm good on Singapore. But the rest, like America, fucking amazing. Love America. So we can get firearms, but they're difficult, and that's it. I think everyone should. That's another skill. Everyone should learn learn the respect of learning how to shoot a firearm, because then you watch a movie and it's different. It's like, oh, I know what this feels like. Like, this is not, when you see no recoil on a weapon, on like a revolver in like a Walking Dead TV show, right? It's like, oh, that's not real. If you feel a kick of a weapon like a revolver, they're a lot heavier than you think. Pistols are a lot heavier than you think, right? When you're holding, right? Like, oh shit. Your traps, your chest, your shoulders, like they tighten up. They're like, man, I'm fatigued and I've been like 5 minutes here, right? So one, it's more difficult than you think to hold for a prolonged period of time, right? I did that wrong anyway. You shouldn't be doing that shit. That's a bad habit of mine, all right? The head has to remain straight, right? You don't want to move your head to the target. You want to line your eyes up through the target, if I'm recalling that correctly. If my friend is watching this, he will. I'm sure he will correct me. I'm no expert on shooting firearms, but I feel like I've been very fortunate enough to learn from somebody who is pretty proficient, very proficient, I would say, for his age. So I'm very thankful for that. Let's keep going through these. I want to take her out on a first date, but Corona is tripping. When should I give up on a girl I really like? When should you give up on a girl you really like? Well, if you're even asking that question, you sound like you're already starting to give up on her. Man, it all depends how you assess the value of a woman in your life. When should you give up on a woman? Part of me says, like, what are your standards? What are your standards for who you are and what another person has to be? Like, what are your boundaries? What are your standards? And is that person either fulfilling those, or do those person's strengths make up so much of your weaknesses that it doesn't matter? When you have a question that's so open-ended like that, and like, man, I don't even think most young guys should even focus on women. I think it's such a distraction, mentally, emotionally. I know I wasted a lot of emotion when I was younger on that business. Like, I think a lot of the times when you are just focusing on truly trying to do something great in this world and be a service to the world, be a service to the people you're around, chase your curiosities, chase your vocation, and be excellent at something, then I think the rest takes care of itself. It did for me. I didn't chase my woman. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. I'll give some credit as well. It was serendipitous. It was fortune. It was luck. It was chance. There was, it wasn't just that. But I think a lot of young men and women waste time on chasing each other. And I don't think it's necessary that we need to spend so much time playing games and chasing one another. It gets very distracting, and people fall in love with emotion. They fall in love with emotion. They fall in love with sensuality and sexuality, and they becomes very illogical. And I think that's something that we need to consider. And instead of chasing women, I think we should chase excellence. Contact is important. We are social creatures by nature, even the shy ones. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're all experiencing that right now, which is why I want to do this. And I'm glad this has been pretty resourceful so far. I really didn't think many people would pop up, but I'm really pleasantly surprised. And I'm going to do this again, guys. And I'm going to schedule them out. And this is the first time I'm doing this. And next time I do it, it'll be even better. This fucking chat box will show up next time. For God's sake. And yeah, so stay tuned. This is just the first of many Talking Chimps. The fact that my internet can even do this is fucking amazing, because Australian internet is not notoriously very good compared to a lot of other countries, but we will keep going. So stay tuned. I'm going to keep doing this because, look, you got a lot of people isolated. They lost their jobs. So why not, I don't know, just even the distraction of it all, right? It's even just the distraction of it all, just like having something to... The fuck is that? Someone gave me $5, motherfucker. James. You're a good man. I appreciate that. I'm not good enough with this stream bullshit. You know how people live stream on Twitch and shit, and when someone donates, they'll be like, they'll put shit on the screen, and they'll do this and they'll do that. Man, just putting space behind me was hard enough, right? I'm actually pretty decent with technology, but it wasn't actually hard enough. But it's pretty cool when you make it work. At the end of the day, man, we're just, look at this. Just talking chimps, man. Just hurling through space, man. That's what we're doing right now. We're just hurling through space. People think we got problems. This guy, did he say anything though? Like, if you donate, I'll give you, answer your question immediately. Anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, man, we're just, and if you guys can see the chat box, let me know, because then I'm tripping and it's just not working for me on my end. Anyway, let's keep this train going. I will get to your questions, even for the people who just commented. I just take some time. I'm a long-winded type of guy, you know? I got a lot of chimp DNA that takes some time to get through. Really important for contact. Get outside. I've been calling people. I just been calling friends. I don't even let them know. I just roll up and I video call them, and I just say, "How you doing? What's going on? Hope you're well." And we just start chatting, and it's great. And it's like you connect with people who do not ordinarily you would talk to, and I would highly recommend you guys start doing that. Just call people, call friends, people you haven't spoke to in a while. Why not? It's going to be really important in this time where we're indoors a lot. We're not getting a lot of contact with people. It's really important in this time to do that. They violate the Constitution all the time. Yes, they do. Not that I know much about that. I just keep focused, man. Like, I control the controllables. You got to control the controllables. Focus all this time on, like, he's doing this, she's doing this. Like, ain't no motherfucking government gonna stop me from getting mine. Right? Do it. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna control what I control. And that's me, my decisions, and my actions, and my habits. And the more I can do that, make myself better, hopefully, the more it's gonna help other people. The more it's gonna be infectious to other people. Right? Ideas permeate, habits permeate. So it's critically important that you be very careful with your words, with your thoughts, because they become your actions and they become your habits. And let's control the controllables, man. Ken asked me, you're religious or no? Did you grow up religious or from a religious family? That's a good question. How much detail do I want to get into there? What does it mean to be religious? I tell you, I grew up indoctrinated into religion, okay? Now let's talk about what indoctrination actually means. The process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Ooh, that's very well put. Let me show you. That's it. That's very well put. Right here. That's pretty much it. The process of... Whoa! Holy shit, why all these comments pop up? Holy shit, it works! Look at that shit! Oh, there's 2 sets of... Oh, it finally worked. Fuck yeah, bitch. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, now I can see. Whoa, where'd it go? Hold on. Oh, it disappeared. I went to the properties and it just disappeared. Man, what the fuck? Oh, maybe it's because of the background. Oh, man. I was talking about religion, and then it was working, and I got excited, and then it stopped. Motherfucker. God damn it. Oh, well. Well, if anybody's got any ideas on how to fix that, you let me know. Oh. Worked for a second. Anyway, I'm sure this is riveting content for you guys. I really want to get it to working, but it's not right now. Anyway, I'll keep talking about religion. Yes, I would say I was indoctrinated into a certain way of thinking and believing in regards to religion, as I think a lot of us are as youngins. However, when I grew into an older adult, a young adult, as a late teenager, you start learning and questioning a lot of the thoughts and preconceived ideas that you've learnt about the world, and I discovered, and I think this is the really key point, when something is no longer resourceful to you, something is not serving a purpose to you in your life, if something is not truly honest with you and authentic to you, didn't come from you, you need to critically analyze and assess what... Oh, Aiden, you're a good man. Aiden Campbell. Hey, brother, where in Australia do you live? I live in North Queensland. I live in Melbourne. Please don't come and kill me. Because I know some people be crazy, man, and they get obsessed with other people on social media. Heard some stories, man. Of some, like Gavin. That guy Gavin and his Megan. Like they had a home invasion. A guy with a gun came. He was obsessed with that girl that Gavin was with. Anyway, I live in Melbourne. Fucking amazing city. Queensland. Good place. Sunny coast. Good I don't know. You live North Queensland. You live high up. In a humid place. Anyway, yeah. From Melbourne. Amazing city. If you haven't gone, you got to come. Anyway, let me keep going talking about religion. I'm trying to get this chat box working. God damn it. I'm just going to delete it. Anyway, so most people are indoctrinated into religions. For me, that was the case with me. I grew up and I realized this is not serving me. I'm starting to critically analyze the things that I was thinking and feeling. And I came to the point where it's like, why am I believing this? I don't know about this. I don't know. And so it was time for me to reevaluate my thoughts. It was time to reevaluate my beliefs. And so I did. And when you do this, when you challenge indoctrinated thoughts and beliefs, it challenges the people around you. It challenges the biases and preconceived notions and things that they've been indoctrinated into, because we just perpetuate ideas to one another, don't we? That's all we do. Like, I am not me. That's what I'm coming to realize. I'm not me. This guy, Alexander Emanuel, who you guys are watching right now, I'm not me. I didn't create me. I am a byproduct of my environment and my genetics. We have willpower. I have willpower, of course. I have conscious decisions that I make towards a goal or further away from a goal, towards outcome or further towards pain, away from pleasure, towards pain. That's my masochist fucking mentality. Away from pain or towards pleasure, which Buddhism notes is the root of all suffering, is a craving. I read *Sapiens*, which that's a book that I want to cover. You guys talk about laws of human nature and art of seduction. No. *Sapiens* by Yuval Noah Harari. That is an amazing book that really captured me and taught me just a lot of moments, a lot of nuggets, a lot of like wow moments. Like, holy shit. Like this is profound. I didn't know, like, did you know there were multiple versions of humans? Multiple, like Homo erectus, there was Neanderthals, then there's Homo floresiensis. Homo floresiensis was a small, very small, like dwarf-like human creature, okay? And I can't remember the exact story of how they actually. I'm gonna look it up right now. Homo floresiensis. They were very small, as far as I understood, and their growth got stunted because they had a lack of food and access to resources. Here we go. I'll show you guys. Boom. Homo floresiensis. It's a pygmy archaic human which inhabited the island of Flores, Indonesia, until the arrival of modern humans about 50,000 years ago. They stood about 1.5 meters tall, 3 feet 7 inches, and were discovered in 2003. That wasn't even that long ago. Imagine what we're going to discover in the next 100 years. Imagine that. Man, the lighting is bright here. Anyway. Partial skeletons of 9 individuals have been recovered, including one complete skull referred to as LB1, LeBron James. These remains have been the subject of intense research to determine whether they represent a species distinct from modern humans. The dominant consensus is that these remains do represent a distinct species due to genetic and anatomical differences. Okay? Homo floresiensis. Oh, look at that. Look at this guy. That's all we... Oh. I got you. That's all we got. Oh. There we go. Look at that. Look at that thing. The pelvis, because the pelvis is very actually similar. That is interesting. If you look at this pelvis is not that... As someone who's observed not real skeletons, not cadavers, but had to spend a lot of time observing anatomy and physiology. Humerus, clavicle, it's not that dissimilar. That's really interesting. Yeah, tibia, fibula, you see all that below? Well, I'm covering it clearly, but let me give you space back. That's better. So these are the ideas that I'm talking about, because there are a lot of people who deny this. There's a lot of people who like, humans have only been around since... And you have every right to believe this. You have your right to hold those opinions and beliefs. However, when you read a book like *Sapiens* and you discover, holy shit, this has been going on a long motherfucking time, based on archaeological evidence. That's what we're basing it off. We're basing it off archaeological evidence. I'm not basing it off... Is the thing about these books. I don't care what religion these books are on. When we have these texts, these religious texts, people try and take it as face value. It's like they try and interpret it as like, this is an accurate account of what actually happened. I don't think that's the most effective way to go about thinking about these biblical texts. I think if you want to take something from them, I think there is merit that you can take these stories and you can pull philosophical idealistic moral values from them of how you should act and behave in this world. I think there is value in that. I think there is value in the comfort of and the hope. There's one thing I've learnt. It's that finally the fucking pop-up box popped up. Just bought Sapiens on eBay right now. Amazing. Fuck yeah. Popped up. I'm not going to touch it again. Why is it so delayed? That's what I'm talking about. Good, man. It's a great book, and I'm like, I hope I can make the time. And it just disappeared. Someone help me out here. What's going on? Chatbox streamable OBS disappears. Someone Google that for me. If someone actually does that, I'll pay you. Yeah, so I think people, and I think we saw it in Tiger King, didn't we? The documentary. People try and cling on to, they want to find meaning in life. They want to find like a story that can help form their identity. You know, oh, there it goes. Pop back up again. Only when we chat. Yeah, it pops up only when we chat. Oh, shit. Okay. I appreciate that. Yes, because it's 20 seconds. It disappears after 20 seconds. Man, my bad. I'm going to keep going. Appreciate it. Stupid me. Anyway. Glad that works. Yeah, so I think there's a value in the idea of religion. Also, let me just side note. Drop down the times it is in your time zone right now. I want to know what time you guys are watching this, even if it's just a couple of you. I don't really know how many people are watching. They drop in and out. Let me know the time right now it is for you, because I'm doing this. It's midday for me right now, which means it's later for America. And so I take that into consideration and doing these earlier in the day or doing these later in the night. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. These religions give us hope. I think these stories give us something to cling on to, a bit of hope, a bit of identity, help forming our identity. So I see a lot of value in them. Oh, there we go. I am live. I can see myself. Oh. In the USA. East Coast. You in New York? You in New York? 9:10 p.m. USA. Shout out. That's probably a good time to be watching some of these just before you guys go to sleep. I mean, not that anybody's trying to get to sleep early for any reason, right? It's always good to keep routine though, which is always something I maintain, regardless of the chaos of life. Yeah, so I'll either do these later in the night for the US guys or early in the morning. We'll see. So yeah, I think religion has a value. If you learn how to question your own beliefs and learn to take more conscious beliefs, more logical and thoughtful beliefs. Pennsylvania. Okay, got you. PA. Mandatory mask in public beginning Monday, 7:10 in LA. Now you guys got LA has mandatory masks, don't they? San Antonio, Texas, Central Time. San Antonio, man, Popovich. Shout out to Popovich, man. What a coach. What a coach. What a team. That's how you move a ball around. That's how you play as a team. That team inspired me, man. When I'm like, man, I want to play on a team like that. I want to. Man, that's playing for each other instead of for yourself right there. So much respect. Yeah, mandatory masks in public. That's not done here. The efficacy of masks has been shown. Within filtering particulates. I did a 2-hour analysis on this, on coronavirus analysis that I talked about this, but masks have a place. Masks can be effective. Okay, so I can see why they're doing mandatory masks in public in Texas. That's not happening here, but I've never seen more people with masks. I went to the supermarket the other day. not even in it. I went outside of it because I went to pick up my goods, my groceries, because we do this thing where you can make an order and they put everything in the cart for you, and then you already paid for it, you just go off, which is amazing. Why do I want to spend time? I don't care if it's a pandemic is going on or not. Why am I spending time in a supermarket walking around like a fucking idiot looking for the fucking the goddamn what do I look for? Rocket. Everyone has masks on in LA. Yeah, because is it illegal? Like, if you don't wear it, can you get fined? Is that right? Like, give me the because we got fines here. Like, they don't fuck around here. They will fine your ass for being in public, with gathering in public and being open as a business. They're not messing around. There are task forces going on. Maybe I should do some live reactions to like the White House task force stuff. That's entertaining. Yeah, it's been wild. Yeah, I bet, man. It's a wild time. I don't even go. Actually, I wanted to actually properly look at the John Hopkins. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days on purpose. $1,000 for not wearing a mask. $1,000. Stop it. For not wearing a mask. That's not. But not wearing a mask is not even an overt act to like put people in danger, but it's now being perceived as that, isn't it? Because like gathering in large groups, that's a clearly. What's up? Who said hi? Purple Yoda. The force be with you. The mask thing is like, it's not like gathering groups. That's an overt act. Opening a business and conducting a business, like having gatherings of people, that's clear. Like that is putting people at risk. But the mask thing is less obvious. Like it is like, okay, what if I'm by myself? By the way, have you noticed the spider on your shoulder? The spider, which thing? This thing? No. It's the blue screen lighting is not amazing. Okay? So I got light coming from here. So, it's a work in progress. At least I got space behind me, okay? Alright? Let's credit me for that. I got space behind me, okay? Or maybe you're just trying to fuck with me. Okay. I can't see myself, so I know what's behind me, and that's fucking space. But the $1,000 for masks, man, that gets me. Man, dude, with martial law, we have no rights, and that's where it's gonna. Okay, people say this. I've had a friend say like martial law. Alan MCG. Alan, you're probably not watching this anymore, but what the fuck is martial law? Like everybody says, oh, we're going into martial law. Do you even know what martial law is? Let's look it up. Let's look it up right now. Martial law is military government involving the suspension of ordinary law. Well, that's goddamn vague. When you see, look at this, martial law. I gotta fix that white spot. Apologies for this whiteness. See, I shouldn't look at images. I should look at the actual descriptions, because the government will never say that. I'm not gonna say never, but they're probably not gonna say, "Hey guys, we've entered martial law." Oh, look at this. Will coronavirus lead to martial law? March 17. Well, can we define it? Let's just define it, please. Martial law is the imposition of direct military control of normal civilian functions by a government, especially in response to temporary emergencies such as invasion or major disaster. So it is the direct military control of normal civilian functions. I don't think we don't have that in Australia yet. We don't have direct military control. Does anybody have direct military control? Excuse me. Martial law can be used by governments to enforce their rule over the public. Oh, excuse me. It's that kangaroo and chicken heart. And yeah, I eat kangaroo and chicken heart. What nutrient density? I'm not fucking around over here. Martial law can be used by governments to enforce their rule over public, as seen in multiple countries listed below. Such incidences occur after a coup d'etat, Thailand 2006-2014, when threatened by popular protest. Interesting. Martial law has also been imposed during conflicts in the cases of occupations where the absence of any civil government provides for an unstable population. So if there is an absence of government, the military will take over. Will they? Who runs the military? Yeah, it's crazy times, man. It's crazy times. To even be talking about this is crazy. Like, it could get worse. It could get a lot worse. But it's country dependent too, because we're seeing different countries have different effects. Some countries are flattening the curve, like Australia is doing a great job, and I will show you that great job we're doing right now, if you will let me. Sukat, can you give Podcast 11 a shout out? Man, I will give Podcast. I don't know if Sukat is still watching this. Sukat came with Ivan, my latest Talking Chimps podcast before this, which was fucking really good, man. One of my favorites. Ivan is a good friend, and we went deep, man. We had such a good conversation on everything. But he was so open and honest with his weaknesses, and I think that is a time for all of us. Yeah, that's better. Look at that. Suck my dick. That's what I'm talking about. That's better. Oh, but my chair is floating away. I don't like that. Let me fix that. But you know what's so great is, like, people keep doing these podcasts, which is great, man. It just gives us some normalcy, doesn't it? It gives us some, like, I can listen to. I love listening to Rogan's podcast. He's been a huge inspiration for this, man. If people stay calm through this, which they have, I believe we will get through this hopefully soon. Yeah, I think staying calm is critically important. Staying calm, staying rational, okay, and being logical with decisions, not getting emotional, making calculated, careful decisions, because in a pandemic, I talked about this earlier in the coronavirus video, but in a pandemic, we have to understand our decisions are not idiosyncratic. They are not. What that means is it's not like you have a car crash with another person and it's just affecting the people in the car crash. It's not a individual to individual. It is systemic, which means it affects a population. And when you have a systemic issue like a pandemic, it is critically important to recognize that your decisions matter. Your decisions matter. Ooh, look at that. Just trying to adjust that. All your decisions matter. They can all affect everybody at large. As of yesterday, 22 million people applied for unemployment here in the USA in the past 4 weeks. That's a lot of people. Jesus Christ. 22 million people. That's a lot. You guys got like 360 million in the US. Bears on people's doors. That would be scary. Yeah, it's real, man. That's real. As I was talking about before, like that's why they put locks on their bins in like places like Vancouver. But you have baby eating dingoes. Man, show me one time that the dingo ate my baby. She ain't ate a baby. Did it? I don't think that actually happened. I think that's just a story. Rody Doty. The thing that makes them scarier is the fact that they'd eat you alive, though if you encounter a mother, you would have a higher chance of surviving. The male would probably be stuck. Oh, we talked about grizzly bears before. That's why these guys talking about that. It's the fact they eat you. Yeah, man. That's eat you alive. If they, yeah, because the mothers are super protective, aren't they? That's real. Oh, Jesus, there's been a lot of comments. Oh, Bozillo! Bozillo! Hey, Bozillo! I don't know if Bozillo's still watching this. Bozillo, are you still watching this? Oh, man, the fact that there's all these comments is so great. It's so humbling. Like, I ain't shit. Like, who am I? Like, I'm a fucking ZZZ list celebrity, right? Triple Z. Henry Cejudo's Triple C. I'm Triple Z. Damn. Oh man, I'm so oh, that's fucking awesome, man. Look at all these great comments, man. I've been an hour 10 into this, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to chill. I'm ready to go eat and then work out. But I'll keep going because I'm gonna get to all the questions, and we're gonna do this again. So I'm gonna schedule a live stream next time, hopefully, and we can talk some chimps. The emotional as Shang says, emotional detachment is a constant goal of mine, but I often fall short. You have to practice it. It's like a muscle. It's like a muscle you have to strengthen. And I think creating space for things like breathing and meditation is really important in these situations, because it teaches you you realize you are not your thoughts. I am not my thoughts. You are not your thoughts. We are not our thoughts. I'm not even me. And to talk about what I was talking about before, I'm not me. Alexander Emanuel is not me. I'm a product of my environment, my genetics, and that encapsulates a whole bunch of variety of factors and men and women who have influenced me dramatically. And I'm thankful, and I am at the grace of them that I am able to be me. James DJ Forecast, your 48 Laws of Interpretation brought me here, as it did for many. Rody Dodie, I have not done Muay Thai before because I do not want to get kicked in the head, because I do not want to get concussions, because I take brain trauma extremely seriously. CTA, TBI, traumatic brain injury. I always fucking mispronounce encephalopathy. Traumatic. What's the C stand for? CTA, cardiac? No, it's not cardiac. Cardiac's chronic. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I'm not going to fuck with. Because we know that even subconcussive trauma, you should just live. You should just go live randomly to build in a bigger audience. Yeah, well, I mean, I will go live randomly too. Yeah, it's But what do you think is the difference between going live randomly versus scheduling them out? If we're talking about audience reach. Do you think is the difference? Is there a difference? I think the schedule enables people to hit the watch later button and the set a reminder button so they're notified actually when people go live, which is a benefit. But I will go live randomly too, because I'm a random guy sometimes. I go off the cuff. I haven't even gotten to the questions on my Facebook that I got a couple friends ask me about what they want me to talk about, because I didn't think anybody would really comment. So I'm so pleasantly surprised. Fuck yeah. I haven't done Muay Thai before. If you want me to talk about brain trauma in detail, I can, but different time zone. Yeah. I mean, but that can also be done by just scheduling at different times, right? I schedule in the morning, I schedule in the evening, I schedule in the afternoon. But time zones, I think, is going to be pretty big. Because when you got an audience that's diverse, you want to hear from a wide variety. My beard looks grey here. Promise you, I'm not 57 years old. Not yet. Haven't done Muay Thai. Subconcussive trauma is a pretty serious thing where it's what it means is it's brain trauma that occurs without symptoms. And it can be built up over years and years. So we talk about like a header so it's any brain trauma that doesn't cause symptoms. So we talk about things like a header from soccer, the soccer ball. We can talk about whiplash, okay? You do not actually need physical contact to the brain to cause brain trauma. And this is such the delicate thing about the brain, which, look at this fucking skull. You can see it. I shaved my head, I shaved my sides and back, so you can see my skull, my cranium right here. I'm just tapping on it right now. I'm just like, is this doing anything? Probably waking my sensory nerves up, but with enough force and with enough inertia, you can cause considerable damage to the brain, and I'm not fucking with that. I realize this is off the screen. That's fine. But things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, very interested, and obviously can't do nothing like that now, but I got plans. I have yellowfin tuna often at the poke bowl restaurant I go to. With respect, please don't. I was going to say fuck you. I'm not going to say fuck you. Oh, no. My bad. Take that back. Yellowfin tuna is not endangered. Bluefin tuna is endangered. We should all make a concerted effort to not eat endangered animals. That's my belief. Why? Why do you need to eat endangered animals? You know how many fucking non-endangered animals there are? If you're gonna eat animals, just pick the ones that aren't fucking endangered. It's not that difficult. But like, people don't know. There's a lot of fish that are endangered. Like, I don't know that. I think red salmon. I think red salmon's all good. What about pink? Is pink salmon? Oh, I fucked up. There ain't no pink salmon. Jesus Christ. I got 2 types of salmon in my fridge right now. I can't remember. Anyway, I've been binge watching your channel for months now, man. Much respect. Aiden, I appreciate you. You're the one who donated your hard-earned money to me, so I appreciate that in these tough times. Just read Art of Seduction. So James said, I'm reading Art of Seduction, so good. I'm using it now to try and get this woman. You gotta love comments like that, don't you? People like use these books to like, I mean, you want to use it to make a better life for you, but it's like, it's just a tool. Yeah, these two books gives us the tools and the confidence sometimes and the knowledge so we can get the experience to do the thing. So good luck, man. I still don't think men should be wasting time chasing women. And I think if you're gonna be with a woman, how should I say? If a man and woman are to join union, if they are to date, if they are to be intimate with one another, I believe it should be under the preconception that we get serious. This is. I see a future with you. I'm not playing with this. I take this sharing, this relationship, the intimacy of our connection with one another. I take it seriously, and I see a future. So it's quite ambiguous to think what I'm trying to say right now. But good luck. What's your opinion on drugs and alcohol? Just a tool. Oh, is my man still here? James, you're still here. I met this girl with we both DJ'd together. We never had a conversation. I asked her out on a date. She said yes, but Corona came. Man, you got Corona blocked, man. What can I say? You got Corona blocked. It happens, man. Oh, you know what I should do with this chat box? I should make it black so I can actually see the background of it. Maybe I'll make it red. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, man, Corona's cock blocking a lot of people, man. You got Corona block. What can I say? Hey, but like, call her. Say, hey, you want to just talk? You want to just get to know each other before we share our juices? You know, you want to just get to know each other. You want to see if like this is actually a woman of value, or if she thinks you're a man of value. Why don't you just find that out? Try that out. Bozillo, my man. Jordan Pieces here is Spotify. While I run, love your work. Got to get around the 40 lots of power. What's the 5 books you'd recommend for self-help and development? Bozillo, love you, man. I love how you make a comment like a fucking fan. Like, I love that. Like you're just one of the guys here. Like you're just one of the people commenting here. You gotta love that. The 5 books I would recommend for self-development. Well, I'm glad you asked, Jeremy Borzillo, because what I've actually done, and for you guys who ever want to know what my recommended books are, I've actually created a page for this. And now I'm going to have to look up my own goddamn channel because I want to see. It's in the description of every single video. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a nice screenshot. You think I can watch myself? You think, what if I click this? Will everything fuck up? I'm going to click it. What my recommended books are. I've actually created a page. Oh shit, son. We're into the Matrix. For this. I'm watching me watch me. I'm going to have to look up my own. Alright, enough of that shit. All right, so it's in the description of everybody. If you want to know what books I recommend, like in the quickest way possible, I gotta look through my screen. I'm looking through my mic. Here it is. My favorite books, right here. Sandra, Nally, Torres, what book is your favorite and recommend? Sandra, you got a lot of emojis going on right now. I don't see the humor in your comment. Oh no, my bad. Maybe you're laughing at fucking me watching myself. Could be that too. So basically it's amazon.com/shop/Alexander Emanuel. It's in the description of every single video. So you can see that it's categorized. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put this over myself because who needs to see me? Right? You can see here that best books of all. So I'll give it to you straight. 48 Laws of Power, How to Win Friends and Influence. The Alchemist is a great book. The Alchemist is a really great book. I actually don't need to. I can do it like this. Alchemist is great. Paulo Coelho is a phenomenal writer. And if you want some... let me go over here. If you want some books, like fiction books, that tell amazing stories, like incredible stories of... Like there's life lessons in the books he writes. Like there's profound philosophical ideas in the books he writes, and he tells them through incredible stories. And The Alchemist is a story about a young man called Santiago, and his story of traveling through the desert and the people he encounters, and basically this idea of finding one's personal legend. And I love this idea because Paulo Coelho, he encapsulates, like, you know, people have dreams and they have goals and they have like, oh, this is what I want to do with my life. It's encapsulated so perfectly in this idea of like a personal legend. A personal legend, it is the highest order. You are subverting. We all must subvert to our personal legend. We all have it, and we all must find it and spend our lives dedicated to finding our own personal legend. And in this book, he perfectly encapsulates it, and I love the idea so much. I'm gonna step off camera real quick, because I need to turn off this fan, and I'm back. And this idea of a personal legend is, he tells through the story. So I'd really recommend getting that book. I read fiction before I go to sleep, and it helps me. It's helped dramatically. It's one of the best things I've done for my sleep. Whoa, what's going on? It's getting brighter. See, that's what happens when you do it during the day. The screen changes. The lighting changes the green screen. Anyway, I'll fix that up in a second. Jordan Peterson's 48 Laws of Power. Robert Greene. Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen that video series, then if you haven't read the book, it's most recently been one of the most profound books that I've ever read. Jordan has informed many of the ideas and philosophies in the last few years for me, and I'm extremely grateful. Looks good, bright too. Oh, cool. Appreciate it. I'm glad it looks good. I look extra pale, but what are you gonna do? 50th Law. It's not a book that I have talked about really. I haven't done any videos on it. However, it's by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. And 50 Cent is one of my favorite artists. Get Rich or Die Trying is one of the best rap albums of all time, in my opinion. And at the time, that was especially prevalent when I was younger. And I read this book when I was a teenager, and it encapsulates, like, I appreciate it, James. It encapsulates how 50 Cent, like, people make jokes about 50, a lot of memes are get created about him over the years. Like, this man is a smart man. He is an entrepreneur. He is a businessman. This guy ain't messing around. Like, he's no joke. Like, he's a lot smarter than he makes out to be. Like, he goofs around and stuff, but like, he's a player. He's a serious business player, mogul. Like close to Jay-Z level in I think a lot of ways in business acumen. And so I got a lot of respect for him, and just the way Robert and him created this book together. It talks about 50's upbringing and how he interacted with fear, how he overcame and moved through his fear for things, and how 50 is so relentless and why he's that way, and so many powerful lessons there. I would say those 5 are as you say, they're my top 5. But there's one in particular that I think every young man should read, Growing into a Man. I'll make this bigger so you can see it. And that is, it's a book it's by David Deida, and it's called The Way of the Superior Man. And there it is. King, Warrior, Magician, and Lover and The Way of the Superior Man, both are very good books. I'd highly recommend them. And I'm gonna leave them at that. I don't want to overwhelm you. If you want to see business entrepreneurship, more things like that, then you can. Oh, my bad. I put the chat box too behind it. Sandra, you must be the first female that is watching this right now. So congratulations. Oh, these comments. I missed these comments. Shit. Let me move this. I remember following you. You were commenting on the Brandon Carter's channel. Holy shit! BC. Really awesome. Very mind-soothing. It does change one mind to not be like the world, but be at peace with oneself. Sandra, you have a provocative... What do they call that? A DP? A display picture? Yeah, they do. Alright. Good books, and thanks. Greatly appreciate the recommendations. 48 Laws of Power and Jordan Peterson. Appreciate it, Sandra. Hope you've been enjoying them. I'm going to check out the Talking Chimps. Check out the we're doing it right now, so I guess you're checking it out. Dimmer, I remember following you when you came. Yeah, Brandon Carter's channel, man. Shout out to Brandon Carter, man. Brandon Carter, he was one of the guys who formed a lot of, he really helped get me into reading. I'll tell you who really got me into reading. It was Will Smith. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist was one of the first books I read, and I saw a Will Smith video back in the day. I have a lot of respect for Will, and he has been a big influence positively on my life. So I have a lot of credit to him. And he made a video. He had an interview, and he talked about The Alchemist being one of the best books he's ever read. And so once I heard that, I'm like, I gotta get it. If Will Smith thinks it's great, and I want to have the presence and power that Will Smith has in a lot of ways, and the character that he has. So I'm going to read this, and I did, and it's one of the best books I've read, and I have friends who also say the same thing. So that's the one to get. And basically, by clicking the links, it supports it supports me, because then it's an affiliate link, is what I call it. And it makes me think, a lot of these podcasts, they don't do it. It's you make a small percentage, a very small percentage of what people buy from Amazon. It's like, imagine if Rogan did affiliate links. If he just put the Amazon link for every single resources and shit, he already makes tens of millions of dollars on your podcast. How many more millions of dollars? I'm like, you probably don't even fucking need it. You probably don't think about it. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, it's not my business. Really awesome, very mind-soothing. I like that word, mind-soothing. It does change one mind to not be like the world, but be at peace with oneself. Absolutely. All right, let me keep reading these comments. My goal is to get through all these comments, and once I get through them all, I will stop this stream. So hopefully I can actually do that. Otherwise, I'm in serious trouble. Imagine if I did this all day. Ooh, that's dangerous business. I couldn't. I need to eat. Sunday I fast though. Sunday I do my 24-hour fast. So I could do it then. It's a lot of sitting though. Maybe I should do some. Put some music behind this. It's unfortunate. Rody Doty said it's unfortunate someone like Ivan Milat got access to such weapons. I don't know who that is. I'll look it up if anyone wants to explain who that is. Ivan Milat. Sounds like it's an Australian serial killer. Oh, god damn it. Why's he got to be Australian? Who was convicted of the backpacker murders in 1996. He died in prison just late last year. There you go. Some people think Joe Exotic is going to die in prison. What a mess that is. I don't want to know his early life. What did he do? What did he do? He's a serial killer. I don't need to look into it. Backpack murders. Victorian couple. I think because they were backpackers, is that? Oh yeah. Fuck. Imagine that. You're in the middle of a forest. It's Friday 9:42 p.m. Is it Saturday noon there? Yes. Yes it is. Yes it is. We are a day ahead. Imagine that, man. You're just going for a hike with your family or your wife or your partner or your husband, and you get whacked. It can happen. It can still happen. There's a lot of the hiking trails are going to be pretty bare bones right now in a lot of places. People being isolated, or some of them are going to be more busy. But at the same time, it's a pretty mixed bag. Martial law. Good old martial law. ADHD by Johnny Lucas slaps hard. Great album. What are your top albums rap hip hop wise for this year? Wait. Jeremy Borzillo, you got to ask such a question that's going to keep me in this chair for a long period of time. But Johnny Lucas is a great artist. If you like hip hop, check him out. He's great. Top albums hip hop wise. Let me show you my Spotify, what I'm actually listening. You guys can actually look up my playlists of what I'm listening to by just searching my name, and you can see the podcast like that. So here's what you can't even see it. There you go. Here's what I'm trying to listen to. Here's my to listen playlist. DV Sanders dropped a new album. I'm trying to get through the Weeknd's new album. Big fan of him. Johnny Lucas' new album. Charles Gambino I need to listen to. Jay Electronica and Jay-Z. That's a good album. That's top 10. Haven't listened to Janae Aiko's album. Susan Santo. Not a new album, but after hearing her music on Rogan, I really enjoyed that. So what are my top albums? Since pausing Jungle Beats Media, for those who don't know, I used to run I still do, because I still make some income from it. Jungle Beats Media company I owned with Alexander Mann, who's been on Talking Chimps twice. Check him out. We review music and talk about music. Yes, Spotify. Let me read that. What is it? Just look up my name. You just put my name in Spotify, Alexander Emmanuel. Same as what you see on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all that. So I think, just off the cuff right here, I would say A Written Testimony, Jay Electronica's recent album, is solid. It's like Surprise. It's like a Jay-Z collab. Jay-Z's one of my favorite artists. So I checked that out, Borzillo. You're going to get a very conscious album. Jay Electronica is kind of like this like one of the most enigmatic hip hop guys in the industry. I would need to actually what are some 2020 albums? Best hip hop albums. I need to think about that. I need to. If you can give any, Sandra, if you can give any advice on life, what would it be and why? I can see why Joe Rogan gets high for these ones early in the day. I don't even do drugs. That was one of the questions about drugs and alcohol. Shit. Sandra, it's a deep question. Need to read it again. If you give any advice on life, what would it be and why? I don't know if I'm even in the position to give advice. The new little baby. Okay, I want to try something with you guys while you guys are listening to this. And how has these books and making these YouTube videos changed? Oh, still jamming to Drake's No Lie. I just want to try something. I'll get you a question, Sandra. I just want to see if you guys can hear the music that I play. I can only play it for a second, otherwise I'll get pulled. Ugly. Did you hear that? Yes or no? I just played it for a couple seconds. Oh, you would have heard it through the speakers. That's dumb of me. My mic picks it up. Of course you heard it. Anyway. Fuck. If you can give any advice on life, what would it be and why? So many things. Take responsibility for everything. Everything's your fault. take responsibility. I think first and foremost, thanks, James. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for all your actions. Don't blame anyone but yourself. And why I think that's so important is because then you are in control. When you blame others, you give them the control over you. You subvert your control and authority and autonomy over your life to another. And I think that is so dangerous to do. Because then you're stuck. Oh, I can't do anything. What can I do? I'm not in control. If you realize and take full responsibility for your life, then you will be better for it. You'll be more in control. And I just got a random thought. I'm going to play some rain in the background. There we go. I usually listen to this as rainymood.com. So it's a great thing I put in the background. It's very soothing calm when I do like a written work or thinking work, or I won't get pulled for copyright because no one owns the fucking rain, do they? Imagine if I do. Oh, that'd be something else. Sandra, I think that's number one. Take full responsibility for your life. There are a lot, I would say, and I think they're encapsulated in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I think they're encapsulated in my Dear Alexander memoirs that I write to myself that I put on my website. I would check those out if you really want to kind of see how I think about these things. That would be a start. And how has these books and making these videos changed your life? I think dramatically, because I have forced myself to dive deep into ideas, into my thoughts, into who I am as a person. I forced myself to question my beliefs and reshape and shape and craft and break down who I am as a person. It's dramatically impacted me in that way. It's forced me to be very disciplined, setting a task, completing it every week. Those who don't know, when I did that original 48 Laws of Power series, which was a long time ago at this point, we're talking 5 years ago, right? I look back and I'm like, why the hell is anybody... I still think that. Don't listen to me. Like, try it out for yourself. You need to test it. Like, I'm not... I don't know, like... Yeah, I don't think, like, don't listen to me, don't listen to anybody, like, but do at the same time. Take it into consideration, but, like, critically analyze and critically think yourself. Alright. Be able to argue both sides of the conversation. I think that's the big one, Sandra. Oh, that's the big one. If you give any advice, life advice, what would it be and why? Force yourself to be able to argue the opposite side viewpoint as well as you can argue your own. Because if you can't, then if you can't see, how should I say? What was it? If you can't argue that was a great quote. Oh, I'm gonna pull it up. I got this Evernote I use. Evernote is an amazing note-taking program that I use for note-taking, and I have my whole life in there pretty much. And I just want to pull up that quote on critical thinking because it is especially profound. Arguing both sides. By listening to someone else, it strengthens your own arguments. If you can't articulate the opposite position and then debunk them, then your original stance is not as strong and way of thinking is flawed in some way. So Sandra, be able to argue both sides. Because if you can't, then your original stance foundation is weak. I can argue the side for plant-based way of eating. I can argue the side for religion. I understand how comforting it is. I understand the intrinsic hope it gives people. I understand that people find meaning in stories. I understand that stories give people something to relate to. It helps form them an identity. I understand. However, I'm choosing at this point in time to find my own. Carve my own story, but I understand and respect at the same time that we all subvert to a higher authority, to a higher order, to a higher power. I think I'm coming to realize that, but I don't know what it is. I will never be arrogant enough to admit actually what it is. I don't know. Look at this. I'm in space. We're in space. This is what we're in. Why do you think I put it here? Because we're fucking talking chimps on a giant floating blue marble hurling through space. That's it. That's it. Let me get to these older questions that in the comments I haven't looked at. Have you considered doing a series on the Prince? I haven't read it. I don't know. Jeremy Borzillo, you're smart and loyal. Jeremy Borzillo. You loyal. Rohit P, what motivates you? Excellence. Chasing excellence. Living a life in servitude to excellence. That's what. And serving other people. That's another big thing that's coming. It's like, it's not about me. It ain't about me. It's about other people. This life is about other people. And we're realizing that very now through this pandemic situation. You're welcome, Sandra. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And it's a weird thing to hear. Like, people binge watch my videos and it's like, that's a lot of me. I don't know how anybody does that. That's a lot of me. That's just know that take pause to time and reflect with all this stuff. Just like, I think we get caught up in the minutiae of all this content and videos and amazing books and readings and stories and videos and writings, and it's like, don't mistake activity for productivity. Don't mistake activity for productivity. Don't just think because you're being active with new video, new this, new that you're do something with the information. Put it into practice. You know, don't just absorb for the sake of absorbing. And I think I say that because that's something I have done. It's something I still do to this day sometimes. But you've got to try and be more purposeful with the content that we are absorbing, because we're not just the average of the people we spend the most time around. We're the average of the information. And now we've never been absorbing more virtual information. Right now, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, right? We're conversing virtually. It's not in person. This has never happened on a higher scale than now. Make sure what you're absorbing is of high quality content. People do this all day. There's a reason I don't follow any people on my social media. I can't get stuck here, man. I got so many people I want to know what's they're up to. I like so many cool people I know, and like I want to check up on. They inspire me, but I can't get stuck here. I can't get stuck with the feelings of jealousy or envy or what she's doing or he's doing or she's doing. I gotta focus on me, man. Rody Doty, are you familiar with the red and black pill? I'm familiar with red. I've never heard of black. You know, Living made a comment. I'm curious to find out what is the ratio like to males and females who watch your videos. I can tell you, it's about 85% male, 15% female. Okay, I'm catching up on these comments. James, I met this girl. Yeah, I did tell her she was gorgeous in her pic yesterday, though she is single. At least you're honest, my friend. Yeah, Brandon Carter. That's what I want to touch on. Brandon Carter. I love Brandon Carter. Back in the old day, was my favorite Brandon Carter. You know, he's a guy I'd watch his live streams. And hundreds of people would view them like this, except there's not hundreds of people here, and they would comment and he would answer questions and he would just talk like this, man, and it was the best. He was never more like, that was the rawest version of BC ever, and I loved doing that. And he'd answer my question one time and be like, that's cool, thank you, and that's like, that was a cool moment, you know, when you can interact with somebody like that. I just got a lot lighter. The sun is coming through, and yeah, man, those are, those comments are somewhere, man. I don't comment on videos anymore, and I haven't for some time. But they're out there. It's a weird thing to comment on other people's videos. you guys are doing it, so I appreciate it. But it's like for me, it's weird. I can't do that anymore. I'm gonna keep it there, man. This has been we've been going deep. We've been going deep for a few hours at this point, and I appreciate all of you, and appreciate you guys watching. I'm just gonna see if I just want to watch myself one more time, just for good measure. I'm still live now. Look at that's fucking beautiful. Talking Chimps live. Ask me anything. Beautiful. Look at this. I will, man. American business. You're right. What are you trying to say? I'm about to leave. American business. You got about 30 seconds before you're trying to say anything. There we go. That's me. Measure. I'm still live now. 720p. I want that 1080p. Beautiful. Talking Chimps live. Ask me anything. Alright. Beautiful. Look at this. I'm out of here. Alright, guys. See you, chimps. Very good doing this. I'll be doing more of these minimum once a week. Stay tuned. Make sure you hit that notification just so you're notified. I can't believe I just said that, but it's got to happen because YouTube ain't delivering all these videos, man. YouTube ain't delivering all these videos. You don't know when these videos get popped up. So if you want to know, you know what to do. I'll talk to you guys later in the week or next week. Stay healthy, stay well, chimps. And stay indoors, but go outside. Super important. Get some sun.